All right, so this is going to be a review of the trading going on during the week of July 20th. And wow, what a bearish week of price action. This was expected, but unexpected in the sense of the volume and momentum of bearish price action. I was expecting ultimately price to remain in this range, giving bearish moves, and then yielding to the ultimate continuation of bullish trend here, mitigating something inside of these points of interest here, trying to pinpoint exactly where it was going to go. But ultimately, price just decided to clear this range in general. But that's going to, the analysis moving forward, well, obviously it's going to be gone over in the outlook of next week, but it seems that right now price is very bearish from the 4-hour perspective on the NASDAQ. So let's go ahead and get into it. Firstly, let me do some housekeeping things. I'm actually going to start marking up my charts using the NQ1 ticker, which is the continuous contract. So instead of me having the NQU ticker, which only shows, the current front month data, which is 3 months worth of data, right? And it cuts it off everything before that. And obviously everything after that is going to be procrastinated into the future. So we don't know it yet. But the NQ1 chart stitches together all of the contracts together, giving a complete composite chart that we can look at for further analyzation of the range or of the price action here on a more complete view rather than just the 3-month range or bounds. All right. So yeah. And then also I can't trade the NQ1, but I'm pretty sure that if I set a trade using the NQ1 chart, it'll automatically be populated to the current front month contract, which would be currently the NQU. And then it'll update to the next one when the contracts roll over to the NQ, I believe it's Z code, if I'm not mistaken, which is the September contract. Or December. Yeah, December, because it's every 3 months, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so that's that. So yeah, I'm going to continue now, but from further moving forward, I'm going to use the NQ1 ticker to mark up everything, consolidate everything to just this chart. And then also what I'm going to do is start logging these trades or logging these Outlook files into my personal Discord journal. So when I do the reviews, I can go straight to there and use those charts. And then if I need to explain further what happened, I'll come to the chart and I have a reference instead of just coming into the chart and be like, oh yeah, where exactly was that? All right. So like right now, let's go ahead and see what happened and why this bearish price action occurred. So one of the charts was this range that we had marked up. Okay. At the beginning of the week, we said that we are inside of a bullish range currently with inside of the premium side of it. And we're looking ideally for sells into the discount side of this range. And so what ended up happening, if we remember from the last week, I had took sells off of 50% of this 4-hour inefficiency shown by this large black candle, and it gave a good reaction, but I neglected to refine the area or the point of interest into where exactly price is looking to go mitigate. And this ultimately led to price pushing up into a 15-minute inefficiency, if I remember correctly, and then pushing downward, creating a range, and that reacted off of this 15-second sponsored candle. Now, inside of this internal range. And what I mean by that is price action here created a range from there. And I'm just going to do this, right? And then ultimately what ended up happening was price pulled back into the premium side of this internal range inside of this external range premium. It pulled into the internal range premium and mitigated a 15 seconds, refined to a 15-second sponsored candle, and that's what sparked this. Now, something I wanted to note, and I have marked here on the chart, was I was expecting, based off of where we were in the range, where we were in the internal range, I was expecting failed continuation from 50% of this inefficient pricing marked by the black line here in the middle. because of the fact that one, we're in the premium, two, it's easy to see that the sells are very, very momentous versus the buying action here. And then three, overall, we're in the external premium and we're looking for sells anyway. And so ultimately, what ended up happening was price mitigated 50% of this inefficient pricing. And notice we had a pullback, which was fine, and that could scare some people. But if we were looking at it from the perspective of structure, then we notice that, hey, we're in premium, we're looking for sells, internal range created, got a major reaction from a sell, internal premium, and now we're pushing lower. So any pullbacks is just an opportunity to get into more sell positions. And that's exactly what happened. And so this happened right before, I think I marked that chart up at night, actually. What time was it? Oh, wait, pressing the wrong thing. Yeah, this was at 4:45 UTC 4. So I think that was like 4:45, like just before market close, right? And then right after, if I'm reading that right, but right after that, what ended up happening was price rolled over. And as expected, it reached the target that I was looking for, which was the point of liquidity that caused the reaction to the upside here. And then ultimately, I was looking for a price to come down into the discount and look for buys. But as we can see, as we pull back to the chart here, we did not do that at all. What ended up happening was price mitigated this entire range. It cleared the entire range and showed bearish intent. And so now everything throughout the rest of the week from that point on Tuesday was basically looking for bearish plays to go into clearing these liquidity targets. And ultimately, what ended up happening was, if we look at this here, we can see that this is, it could be said that these are relatively equal lows, and that price mitigated those. And notice how we're having a reaction from that area currently. But we'll have to wait till next outlook and see the beginning price action on Monday to see what exactly price is looking to do, at least for the short term, in the middle part of the beginning of the week. All right. So yeah. And ultimately what I did was I took a trade off of here and then caught continuations throughout the week. But as we can see, that the bearish analysis or the bearish prediction from the outlook played out, it just didn't play out fully into the fact that I was actually looking for something along the lines of this. Rather, price actually decided to go here. And now, based off of that, what we could be looking at is a potential bearish range continuation, where we've now cleared the bullish range, we've shown bearish intent, and we could see either continuation until we reach an area where bulls start entering the market again, or we look for a pullback to now continue the bearish price action and to fill in, inefficiency here, potentially come back here, etc. But I'm going to wait. I'm going to hold off on that. That's just like off the cuff. I haven't done deep analysis yet based off of my system and my rules. So yeah, we're going to do that later on. But until then, it was a great week of trading. Really good price action from the bearish standpoint on the NASDAQ. And yeah, moving forward, everything's going to be done on this chart. Going to log everything in the journal that I want to talk about, and we'll go from there. All right, so if you learned something, cool. If you want me to change something, if you're in the RCV channel, let me know. And yeah, I'll happily do that. And if you want me to explain something in more in depth, let me know as well. I'll do that as well. All right, peace.